and welcome to GSKP TV, Georgia Sunflower, Kansas Peach, where we do movie, TV, life, books, current events. We talk about it all. This is a safe place. Today is May 20th, 2025. I'm trying to make sure I got all my days straight. Everything's running together. There's so much going on. On our last broadcast, I mentioned that we would be talking about a Rodney Hinton. I know it's been about 2 weeks ago that this happened, but just to be honest, I wanted to be able to deal with it first before I came on and talked about it. So, let's listen to our theme song and then we'll get to the matters at hand. Again, hello and welcome to GSKP, Georgia Sunflower, Kansas Peach. Today is May 19th, 22nd. I don't know. Lord, my days run together so bad. I don't know what I said the date was when I came on here. Let's get it right. Let's just get it right. Today is the 18th. I don't see now on my computer it says it's the 23rd, 24th or something crazy. So anyway, today is the 18th, May, Sunday, 2025. Again, thank you for joining me here on GSKP TV, Georgia Sunflower, Kansas Peach, where we talk about anything, as I say, books, movies, TV, current events, whatever. We discuss it. This is a safe place where you can voice your opinions. We have to respect that everybody doesn't believe and think the way that we do, but since this is my channel, I can say what I want to and how I want to say it. But I'm going to try my best to be very respectful to everyone because I expect the same thing. The way you want to be treated, that's how you have to treat people. And I know that I say some controversial things, but my controversial things are happening to me and mine and are facts. So, and with that being said, we are going to get to the matters at hand. In our last video, I made the mention that we were going to be talking about Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr. If you don't know, about 2 weeks ago, a African American man, again by the name of Rodney Hinton Jr., his son was killed by the police. And it has, of course, been a lot of controversy behind it. It's said that The young man was shot in the back, running away from the police. And of course, the police say that it was a justified killing, of course. Let's watch the news footage that I have, and then we'll discuss it. So let's watch this clip, and then I'll give my opinions.
That breaking news, the man charged with murdering Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson has been denied bail. Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Stephen Albritton. This morning's bond hearing for Rodney Hinton Jr. showed a lot of emotion during and after the court proceedings. We're leading the way with live team coverage. Brian Hamrick breaks down what happened in court. Our Jock Maluka joins us with how emotions ran high during that hearing. And our Todd Dykes has reaction from the sheriff after the hearing. Let's start with Brian Hamrick with that judge's decision. Brian.
Yeah, Stephen, what was an emotional tornado inside the Justice Center here. You have deputies who just lost a friend, a co-worker in the same room with the family of the man who is accused of killing him. Now, just a matter of seconds after Rodney Hinton Jr. entered the courtroom, an outburst, a man came to the front claiming he was Hinton's brother, trying to get his attention. This is what happened.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat, sir. Sit down. Have a seat. That's my brother.
Yeah, now the outburst goes on. Hinton is escorted out of the courtroom. They finally get things under control, and Hinton returns to the court for this hearing to hold him on no bond. It's a special hearing. It requires evidence to be presented. The prosecution called a Cincinnati police detective who said Hinton had been at the police station to meet with the chief and to see body cam of police from the day before. That body cam showed officers shooting Hinton's son, Ryan Hinton, to death. And it came as they stopped the stolen car. After leaving that scene and seeing this video, the detective said Hinton was very emotional. Family didn't even want him to drive home. He didn't, but he came back later to get his car, and then he headed to the area of the UC campus where Deputy Larry Henderson was directing traffic for the UC graduation. The detective said Hinton picked out the first officer he saw and accelerated toward him.
Through the intersection, directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing, and struck Deputy Henderson and the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
I think the conduct in question is classic mental illness criminal conduct. It's always intentional, it's bold, it's conspicuous.
I don't know that...
That's a hallmark sign that somebody is not in their right frame of mind, no attempt to deceive, no attempt to hide what they did.
Yeah, so that was Clyde Bennett. That is Hinton's attorney. He made no secret that he's going to use mental health as part of his defense in this case. And in the end, he didn't even argue with the idea of not having bond for Hinton. In fact, the only thing he requested was that he gets mental health while he's in the Claremont County Jail. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
And typically these no bond hearings do require a higher burden of proof. Brian, was there any evidence presented?
Yeah, it's they call it clear and convincing evidence is what they need. It's like a step down from, it's just part of the legal process there. They did not bring in evidence, what they did do is they talked about this video that they had. There are two videos. There's one from a bus that shows the entire encounter, and then there's another one from a security camera that shows part of that encounter, so that will be held for trial.
All right, Brian Hamrick reporting live for us there from the Hamilton County Justice Center. Brian, thank you.
No, it was an emotion-filled day inside.
Okay. Now that was our video talking about Mr. Rodney Hinton, who had, just to recap, who had killed an officer. And the officer was not a part of his son's demise. He was just an officer. As they said, Rodney left the police station, and the first officer that he saw, he killed. Now, since the incident, it has been a couple of weeks ago. As you saw, they were having his bond hearing, and the level of intimidation. The room was filled with police officers. And this was an attempt, as I said, to intimidate Rodney. Rodney was not intimidated by this act. From what I understand, they're not supposed to do that, to intimidate an individual. This incident has been very controversial, which it always is. You know, when one of us has been removed from this earth, by the police, it's normally very controversial. They have since released the videotape of the actual shooting of the young man. And through further investigation, it is found that the car that the children were in, I call them children because I think he was 18, 19 years old, the car was not actually stolen. The car the young man owned or was buying or whatever, and was late on payments. And I don't know if the vehicle was being repossessed or what, you know. It's said that the young man, well, it was actually 4 young men in the car, and they all got out and ran. It's said that Rodney's son, this is what the police officer said prior to the video coming out, that he had a gun. They said that upon stopping the vehicle, there was some kind of artillery in the car, some kind of weapon, which is not actually against the law. If you have the proper documentation to have it, you can have a firearm in your vehicle. As I was saying, the boys got out and ran. The video shows Mr. Hinton's son running away from the police officer. It did not show where the young man pointed any kind of weapon at him. They later found a firearm that they're claiming was the young man's firearm that was thrown down. It is said that the young man was shot 9 times. Mind you, he was running away from them. And the video shows him running away. And this officer ran up in behind him and shot him. Point blank, period. It's been a lot of talk about Mr. Rodney Hinton. When they had his bond hearing, they walked him through the courtroom and they had police officers lined up on both sides of the walk area that he had to go down. They thought it was going to intimidate Mr. Hinton, which it didn't. Mr. Hinton has gone viral because he held his head up and he looked those officers in the face as he walked by. Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes on why this happened. What's really going on? What's happening here? Mr. Hinton decided to get his own justice and to give the officers a taste of their own medicine. An eye for an eye. Mr. Hinton has decided, if you kill mine, I'm going to kill one of yours. And did. Now, mind you, I think it is sad that that officer lost his life. Just because he's a human being and respect for the dead, okay? But at the same time, I understand why Mr. Hinton did what he did. I do not condone violence. But in some cases, violence is necessary. Sorry, but it is. And in this case, and many others, retribution. This man was distraught at the loss of his son. That young man's life did not have to be taken. He was running away from them. I could understand if he was firing at the officers. That young man was running away from them. Go look at the video. Go and look at the video. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the video and make your own conclusions. But my conclusion is the young man was running away from them people. There was no reason why he should have been killed. Should he have been apprehended? Yes. Yes. Should he have been arrested? Yes. But he did not have to be killed. He didn't have to be killed. And white America, we are tired of burying our children. We're tired of it. Why Mr. Rodney Hinton did what he did, I totally and completely understand. My only problem is it should have been the officer that took your son's life. This man that you eliminated was not the culprit. That's my only problem. This man, the man that passed away by the hands of Mr. Rodney Hinton, was totally innocent. But I understand why Rodney did that. I really do. Again, I don't condone violence, but the racism and the unfair treatment of us as a people has got to stop. And this thing about us standing up, singing and marching and rocking and holding hands and rocking and reeling back and forth, shit, when we get through doing that, the white powers that be continue to do just what they want to do to us. There has been no change whatsoever. They're still shooting us down in the streets like a dog. They get off on taking our lives. And the administration that we are under right now is doing nothing but adding fuel to the fire. And I know a lot of people is not going to like this, but I'm sorry. We don't like dying. We don't like being mistreated. Those days are gone. Those days are over. The antebellum slave, all that make America great crap again that you all are trying to, them days are over with. It won't be like that anymore. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Sorry. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Oh, Lord. But seriously, you guys have to do your own work now. You have to put in your own work. That's what you tell us to do. So practice what you preach. And if we're going under this idea that this administration is so Christian and so God fearing and so this and that, well, then you understand an eye for an eye. If you are the administration that you say you are and you are so Christian, then you understand that. There should be no outrage. There should be no feelings hurt. There should be no misunderstandings. So again, I completely understand why Mr. Rodney Hinton did what he did. They took his son's life. Y'all was bad when the little high school boy. There was so much outrage about the little high school boy that stabbed the little white boy that was bullying him all this time. You all were so outraged. You wanted his life. You still want his life. Well, this father wanted a life for his son's life. People are tired of burying their children. Black children. They're tired of people killing their children and there is no consequence. They're tired. We are not afraid. White people are not scary anymore. Y'all done ran through us so much. We're not impressed with white people. I know I'm not. I'm definitely not. You are nothing but flesh and blood just like the rest of us. We are tired of your superior attitudes. That's the only thing that's superior about you is your attitude. Is you think you are. You're definitely not, and you know it. You all are so afraid that we as a people will do what you have and what you are doing to us, to you. That's what you're afraid of. But the scripture says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Now, mind you, that does not mean that we just let you run over us. And that idea of turn the other cheek, that has nothing to do with letting you misuse us and mistreat us. That does not mean that we cannot knock the hell out of you. That is not what that means. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to put my hands on you. In the name of Jesus. Okay? That is not what that means. Mr. Rodney Hinton showed y'all that he is tired. And you all act as if you don't understand why that man feels this way. I am so sick of the narrative that white people do not know what the real history is. I don't know what to do. Y'all know exactly what the history is. You keep it passed on from your children, from your parents to you, to your children. You know exactly. And this thing about we need to educate, we don't need to educate shit. They know what they did. You know exactly. That's why the administration is doing what he's doing. Trying to erase and keep it undercover. If there was nothing to erase or keep undercover, why is he doing that? If you all didn't know anything about it, what's the problem with DEI? Huh? What's the problem? If you don't know anything about it, it shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't bother you one way or other because you don't know anything about it. Well, how about Mr. Rodney Hinton knows about it? He knows. And he let y'all know that he knows. And he's tired. He is tired of y'all's crap. That man gave up his life for his son. Now you can say what you want to. He did that because they are definitely going to put him in prison for the rest of his life. He'll never. Mental or no mental, that man won't see daylight again. He gave his life for his son. And I applaud you for that, Mr. Hinton. Again, the officer that died, totally innocent. But you know what? Mr. Hinton's son was totally innocent too. He was an 18-year-old foolish boy. They don't get more innocent than that. 18 years old. Making foolish mistakes. As all of us have done. And continue to do. We all make mistakes. We have all made bad choices. And you would be lying if you said you haven't. You would be lying if you said you haven't. Because no man on this earth is perfect. None. I don't care who he is. No one. If you haven't had a chance to go and look at Mr. Rodney, look at that man in the face and see if you can feel his pain. I don't want to hear this crap about he had a record and he did this and he did that and blah, 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 because he didn't. That was evident from watching the news report when they were doing his bond hearing. See if you can understand us as a people looking in that man's face. See if you can relate to the pain of losing his child. And by such violence. No parent is perfect. I don't care who it is. I don't care whose parent it is. No parent is perfect. But I think Mr. Rodney was probably a pretty good one, or trying to be. because he was willing to give up his life for his child. And I think that constitutes a pretty good parent. Not perfect, but a darn good try. Now, I want it to be understood and perfectly clear. I do not agree with unnecessary violence. But like it or not, sometimes violence is necessary. David and Goliath didn't shake hands. When the walls of Jericho came down, they wasn't hugging. When somebody tries to do you harm and you're protecting yourself, you're not standing up singing to them. Sometimes it takes brute force. So stop pretending that everybody's walking around here kumbaya, because that's a damn lie. I must say that I hate it for both families and their loss. But again, I understand why Mr. Hinton did what he did. I do. I do. A bad decision, but I understand the decision. I hope that Mr. Hinton finds peace. I hope that the family that lost their father, grandpa, uncle, brother, I hope they find peace as well. But again, I understand. I understand Mr. Hinton. We're not taking it anymore. Sorry. It's a terrible thing, but it's just come to the point. Well, guys, I think I've come to the end of my vlog, blog, or whatever for the day. I thank you for joining me here on GSKP, Georgia Sunflower, Kansas Peach. Thank you to all my peach trees and my sunflower seeds. I love you guys so much. I can't do this without you. Like, comment, subscribe, reach out, talk to me. Give me some suggestions. There's so much going on and so much I want to talk about. The Nottoway plantation is burned down. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. 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 Bye-bye. 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 People are upset about that. We're going to talk about that too. I'm trying to catch up. It's just so many things. I think it's the Nodding Way. I had the Rodney. I've talked about P. Diddy. It's something else that I wanted. And I've talked about Smokey Robinson, though. That's what's tickling me to death. Now, Smokey, Uncle Papa, come on now. Anyway, again, thank you guys for joining me here on GSKP TV, also known as Georgia's Sunflower, Kansas Peach, here on YouTube. As I always say, wash your hand, wear your masks. This is the time of the year, we get the colds and the this and the that and the whatevers and the this and the that's and the anyway. Thank you for joining me, and as I always say, I am my brother's keeper, and I love you. Bye.